Hi everyone, this is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem is that you missed your biometrics appointment and your status is inactive for too long, and now USCIS formally issues you a denial notice. And now your entire case is up in the smokes. What do? Well, you can file a motion to reopen for most of these cases. A motion to reopen is a 290B application telling the officer, the original officer that issued this denial, hey, officer, please reopen the case. It's kind of like going from active to inactive and going back to active, but in terms of a case denial, it's going from an open case to a denied case to now an open case again. Telling the officer, hey, look, I missed the biometrics. It's just a small thing in this entire application process. Here's the circumstances that's beyond my control. Here's the reasons why. Please don't deny the case. It will cause us immeasurable suffering. Now, if you read through the 290B from USCIS, you get to see the instructions saying that you need to present documents and evidence that was not available before at the time of your application. Well, what is that? Well, that's everything I just explained right now. What are the circumstances and reasons why you couldn't make it to this particular appointment? Why couldn't you call and reschedule, right? You have to explain that. Maybe because you moved and you didn't get the notice. Now, if you moved and then you did the AR11 and you told USCIS that you moved and then they still sent it to the wrong address, well, then it is now their fault. But you still need to do the motion to reopen to show them it's their fault. But if it is your fault, you didn't file AR11, then explain why. You didn't know, the lawyer didn't tell you, the law office that represented you shut down, the lawyer went missing, the lawyer got COVID and the secretary didn't know. All sorts of reasons. You need to be able to take that and present it to USCIS and argue because of all these reasons, you couldn't do such a simple thing as going to an appointment, or you couldn't reschedule because you didn't even know you had an appointment. It is not impossible to do these motion to reopens. We've done it so many times for students, for executives, and you show them really, it's a sympathetic reason why you couldn't do it, and the consequence of denial. We usually spend a whole page explaining why, if they don't reopen your case, what you will have to do instead. What is your now backup option? Show the officer the nightmare that you will have to suffer. Look, most of these USCIS officers, especially in the past few years, 20, 30, 40-year-olds, right? They are human beings that are just processing cases, much like any other government official. They have tons of cases every single day, and they understand the circumstances that people are going through. And the system just is unfortunate. They require you to file a 290B motion to reopen with a new filing fee, explaining why it's sometimes their own fault, but they understand. It's just unfortunate that you have to go through this process if your case already went from inactive to a denial, right? You had a few hopes when the case, for example, when you missed a biometrics appointment, you can still go from inactive back to active and USCIS issue you a new a biometrics appointment. But if you missed that appointment and you just gave up and stopped rescheduling because it's way too difficult, well, then your case might be denied. And once it's denied, you are forced to having to do this motion to reopen. If the only problem is that your reentry permit application got denied, well, all hope is not lost. We made a separate 5-series video, I think, on the CBP entry, SB1 visa. You can potentially still save your green card if your reentry permit got denied. Or you might be able to still fly back into the US and just go through the reentry permit process again. But if you can also do a motion to reopen and plead with the officer to save the latest reentry permit application. So that's the end of this series, right? We started out with talking about how to expedite the entire reentry, advanced parole, I-90 process because it is so difficult and it's constantly changing. Then we made a video on talking specifically about how to expedite the biometrics portion because that is oftentimes the most critical and crucial part. And then we talked about what happens if you just need to constantly reschedule your biometrics appointment. Then we made a video talking about what to do if you missed your biometrics appointment. How do you save it and go back to the active status? And this last video is talking about what happens when you missed everything and your case gets denied and now you have to save it, you can file a motion to reopen. We've done all of these before. We are happy to share our success story with you, show you how to do it. I know it's a very complicated process. I know a lot of people don't do it, and I know things could be simpler. And in hopes, in the months to come, in the years to come, USCIS would make it better. And if there is an opportunity at USCIS that they need somebody who has the knowledge from a private sector perspective that you need to lead to change the system, please hire me. I would love to help you do it. I'll do it pro bono. And that's it for this series. It took a little longer to pump this series out because there's just so many things and so many information that we want to share with the public. And I know it's very transitory. Within a few months, I'm sure all of this is going to be obsolete. I'm hoping it will go obsolete. But until then, I hope it's useful to the public. If you have any questions or comments, and if you want us to do another series, feel free to let us know. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.